Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of the Klamath Falls Gems Coaching Show. I'm your host, Nick Winstead. We'll have Coach Aaron Johnson and Coach Alex Alvarado joining us in just a moment for this premiere edition of the show. We hope for this to be a weekly show, an in-depth look from the two guys who know most about the Gems. Now that we've had a couple of weeks of the season, the guys have got a good feel for everything that's going on. After the break, we'll take an in-depth look at what has occurred and what's to come for the Gems.
The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ Spires and Pooley LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
And welcome back to the Premier Coaches Show. We've got Alex Alvarado and Aaron Johnson with us. Thanks so much for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
So we've got a couple weeks of the team underneath our belts. We've seen what they can do. How do you feel about the team as a whole, Alex?
You know, we've got some really good players on this team, a lot of pro-caliber players. We should be able to start getting some wins here now that our pitching's in and our position players. We just got a new catcher named Ryan Mendoza, who just is top notch. I mean, I can't speak on how big we are on this kid. He's got all the tools, and he should be able to help us with everything behind the dish.
Absolutely. Just watching him in a couple of times that I've been able to see him, you see he's really solid behind the plate, also a solid bat, but what really jumps out to me is just that cannon that is attached to his right arm.
Yeah, he's consistently about 185, 186. We've had him at 179 a few times, which is high caliber. Should be a pro guy, after the next 3 or 4 years. He probably will be 3 years, in college, and then start getting some offers.
Something that I noticed right away when he arrived up from Southern California is he fit in with this group of guys immediately, and I think that speaks a lot about the group of guys. Talk about the chemistry that you've already seen with this Gem squad.
I think you can throw anybody in this group of guys, and they'd get along just fine. We've got really good chemistry, really good camaraderie in the dugout. Things are going to start clicking for us, now that we've figured out who's going to play where and who is our DH and what the guys can do and cannot do. I think the hardest thing was getting here, throwing the team together, and getting on the field. We needed these few weeks to get going.
Absolutely. And Aaron, you've spent a lot more time in the dugout with the guys. Alex is kind of the overseer, and you're the boots on the ground. Talk about your experience with the chemistry of this team.
Well, these guys, there's so much talent here. So many good hitters, good arms, good fielders. It's only a matter of time before they click, start winning games. But yeah, these guys, they all know baseball. They're all at a professional level as far as their mental capabilities. And I think we're gonna turn some stuff around and we're gonna have a great season.
You touched on something that I was about to get to. It's the big bats of this team. If you take a look at BP for the Gems, you're just wowed every single time. And you are a hitting background guy. You must just be thrilled to be able to work with these guys.
Yeah, when Coach Alex Alvarado put the team together, I felt like he was putting this team together for me, because I come from a hitting background, and most coaches, they like to put pitching first, but Alex, he's all about scoring them runs, as am I. And we both love the long ball, and we have a lot of guys that can hit it.
And Alex, was that really something that you honed in on? Was the power hitting, or you were just looking for solid baseball players, and they just all happened to be able to swing it?
I think we were looking for those big first basemen that can really swing the bat, especially in this kind of league where, the pitching's so hard. I mean, you put the bat on the ball, it's gonna go. So we were looking for those big bats when we first put this lineup together. I was just so impressed with the guys when they got here. I mean, you recruit a player, you talk to their coaches, but seeing them in person on the fields, I couldn't be more pleased with what we got as a team.
And rightfully so. This is a great group of guys with a lot of talent. However, unfortunately, the record doesn't really reflect that as of yet. 2-5 in conference with some heartbreaking losses, and it just doesn't show, as I mentioned, how talented this team is. If you look at the box scores, even you're not seeing really the depth that this team has. Is that frustrating for you guys?
We've lost I think 3 games, 1-run games, and it's been really, really tough. I believe we've competed. We've played really hard. A 1-run game is a game that we're willing to lose. I think with our pitching here now, things will change. I know we lost a couple of heartbreakers. When we went to the bullpen. But the bullpen's going to get better. We got some guys who haven't thrown in a little bit. They're going to continue to start throwing, and we should start looking good.
And one of those close games that the Gems actually came out on top of, as opposed to one of those heartbreaking losses, was that 20-18 victory on the road at Sacramento in that just oven of an environment. And the Heat are coming up here this weekend. Are you guys excited to see that team again and get them at home this time?
I'm excited to see them with our pitching. I'm excited to see them when we don't have to throw a position player. And our guys are gonna do what we ask of them. They volunteer for everything. So it was really helpful when we had a position guy throw a couple of innings that game. We've got all of our pitching here, like I said, so should be a different game, not a run fest, but we do score a lot of runs. When we play games, we score runs.
And Aaron, over the last 2 games, the Gems have scored a combined 11 runs, when earlier in the season we were scoring 11 runs a game. Has that just been a product of the hot bats kind of being figured out by the rest of the league, or more so the pitching coming in from other squads?
Well, I think it's the pitching coming in. These guys, they're fastball hitters. They like to see the hard stuff, and it's tough trying to adjust when you're used to seeing mid-8s up, and that you come in and you're seeing high 7s. It's not easy to do, but we're getting there. We got guys in the cage working. These guys are thirsty. They want revenge for the losses that we have. And I think they're going to come out and tear it up.
Is it a little bit different going from all the different places they play to learn how to play Kiger, where it's a different sort of environment? It's a big league ballpark. Not that they haven't played in their various colleges, but it's a different atmosphere, and it plays a little bit differently, as every stadium does. Do hitters have to adjust to that every time they go into the box?
Yeah, sometimes, but what I try to tell these guys is, just pick out a good pitch and drive it. If you're hitting line drives, the ball's gonna fly. It doesn't matter what park you're in. So I mean, these guys, they're good players, and they're gonna figure it out.
And Alex, with this 3-game set against the Heat coming up, a very typical 3-game set, but right on the back end of that, 6 straight games against the California Bees. How do you guys as coaches prepare for that ahead of time?
I think it's just getting our guys the rest in between the games, that in between the Heat and the Bees. If we can get the full 2 days rest, I think we'll be fine. We've got 6 starters in place, all set up to pitch against the Bees, and then we just got to have our bullpen come out and throw strikes, whether they put the ball in play or not. I think we've been giving up runs with walks. I mean. It's just usually what happens. You walk a guy, he's going to score. So we are all set for the Bees pitching wise. I think that'll be our struggle, is hoping that the bullpen can get us through 6 games.
And you mentioned the walks kind of being a problem. Do you think that's more of a result of jitters of getting used to being with this team? Of course, they've played a lot of baseball in their lives, but it's a brand new environment. You're in this new league facing good guys up and down the order. There are no weak spots in the orders that we've faced. Is that a problem for some of the guys out on the mound?
I don't think so. I think what has happened to us is we are getting our pitching in. The guys are getting their first starts, and they come out and they're nervous. It's a big league park here at Kiger, and the fans treat us like we're big leaguers here, and I can't thank them enough for everything they've done. The walkers, they've really treated us well. I mean, we're hometown celebrities here, and they really treat us well. And I think it's just a little bit of jitters from our starters that haven't thrown here. We've gone to other teams in the league, and it's just a game. Here it's an experience. We've got tons of pregame and during game activities going on. So it's pretty nerve-wracking for a pitcher if it's his first time at Kiger.
Fair enough. And to wrap up this first coaches show, I'd like to know both of your guys' predictions for the season going forward. Obviously, you guys hope to go into every game and grab a victory, but more realistically, what is your outlook for the season?
I think if we're above 500 at the end of the year, I think that is a successful experience for the people here in Klamath and the fans and the team. This is a very competitive league, and I think that our players are doing their best to compete. But looking forward, I don't see why we couldn't win more than we lose. So over 500 would be ideal. That's what we're striving for.
Aaron, do you echo those comments?
Yeah, I think Coach Alvarado's being a little modest, but as far as I'm concerned, this team has the potential to make it to playoffs and further, and that's where I'm striving.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. A very informative sit-down with the two coaches of the Klamath Falls Gems, Alex Alvarado and Aaron Johnson. This has been the first Coaches Show. You can find the rest of them right here on Gems Live. I'm Nick Winstead, and until next time, have a great day.